Hare Krishna. Padmini Rukmini Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Shri. All right, so let's start. Om Namo
Om Namo
Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayu
Nashtatam
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakada Jatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakambitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishibhani Site Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Yanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Visnavitari Prabhupada Kitariya Shri Girirajaya Swami Sudatha Varanaspi Harikanda Chapter Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Visnavitari Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinam Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharina Nirvishesha Shri Guru Shakti Vishakari Mukam Karuti Vacharam Pangam Nangayati Girim Yatkipatan Hindrandu Shri Guru Dinakaram Hare Krishna. So are we able to put on our videos? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. Like everyone to put on the video. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So this is the introduction. So this is Srila Prabhupada, who is introducing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his teaching. So he made the point that we can understand Srimad Bhagavatam only through Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Mahaprabhu came to show us how to practice bhakti and the practical application of what is learned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this section is a discussion between Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya when they're discussing the Vedanta Sutra. So in the Vedanta Sutra, so the Supreme Lord himself, first thing is the Praman. What do we accept? We are accepting Praman, source of evidence for whatever knowledge we are acquiring. Our source of knowledge are the Vedic literatures. So it's not some other book. It is the Vedic literatures. So the Vedas and Puranas, so Vedic literature meaning, see, that was very important for all of us because we know the Vedas, but there was so much controversy about the Puranas, then Mahabharata, etc., etc. Basically, some section of philosophers were accepting the Vedas and Upanishads and Vedanta Sutra. But they didn't accept the Puranas, the Itihas, the Mahabharata. So they thought that these were not important and they were not part of the Vedic literature. So here, so all that was established. So at least for me, who was trying to know about, supposed to be Hindu, so what's my religion, when I was questioning. So all these were a huge question mark. Whether we should accept Mahabharata and the Itihas, Puranas, huge confusion and division. So here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is firmly establishing, and Prabhupada uses this word Vedic literature. Otherwise, it was only Vedas. Now, Vedic literature is so established within Vedic literature that the Puranas and the Itihasas are also included. Then come the introduction about so what is the subject matter of this Vedic literature? So it is the supreme absolute truth, the Param Satyam. So we have discussed about him, who he is, and whether he's a person or whether he's impersonal, and then whether he's like Paramatma. So these are different aspects. Then we spoke about the energies. So then comes a huge debate again, because the impersonalists, they say everything is one. And the personalist, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he's saying it is one plus the energies. So what are the energies? The internal energy, the Jiva Shakti, and then comes the Bahiranga Shakti, material energy. So eternal manifestation, so then there are potencies called Sandhini, Samvit, and Hladini Shaktis. Sandhini meaning that which manifests existence, whether spiritual or material. And that which gives pleasures, Hladini. And that which makes us conscious is Samvit. So these are the potencies of the Lord. So now, actually for me what happened is that when I read, everything sounds so familiar, so I can't remember where we start. When I'm reading, I know this, I know, so I really can't remember where we start. So anyway, we'll just take it here about the form of the Lord. So on page 24. So Mala, can you read the transcendental form of the Lord? Because we are coming here now about, so there is the form of the Lord, and then there is the energies of the Lord. So earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego are all inferior energy, whereas the living entities are superior energy. We continue reading from here. The transcendental form of the Lord is eternally existent.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, what page is it on? 24?
Mm.
Okay. Mataji, I can't find it. 24. Can you please tell me again once more?
Paragraph.
Third paragraph.
Third paragraph.
Thus, after hearing the explanation, that's what I have on page 24.
Oh, is it?
Is
Okay.
it? Mataji, on my book, in my book, it's 22 number page.
Oh, 22.
Yeah, I think 22.
Yes. Okay. Yes, mine also.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Hare Krishna. The transcendental form
I
of the
think Mataji, we had finished that, and we were actually, I think, because I made some markings on. Acha, yeah, 22. Yeah, you are right. The Puranas are also supplementary. You're starting from there.
No. I'm not starting from there. I'm starting from,
Huh?
no, I'm not starting. In your book, it is on page 24. Okay?
Yeah,
Actually,
because
in your book, it is
No, what is the starting line of the
the
para?
transcendental form of the Lord is eternally existent.
third paragraph.
Yes, the third paragraph on page 24, yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so all of us now we should mark, including myself.
The transcendental form of God.
The transcendental.
Oh, yeah. It's the third para. Okay.
All right.
Oh.
The transcendental form of the Lord is eternally existent and full of transcendental bliss. How then can such a form be a product of the material mode of goodness? Anyone, therefore, who does not believe in the form of the Lord is certainly a faithless demon, and as such is untouchable, a not to be seen persona non grata fit to be punished by the Plutonic king. The Buddhists are called atheists because they have no respect for the Vedas. But those who defy the Vedic conclusions, as above mentioned, under the pretense of being followers of the Vedas, are verily more dangerous than the Buddhists.
Yes, so here, it's like the Buddhists, they outright rejected the Vedas, so we know who they are. But now here are followers of the Vedas. They say they are followers of the Vedas, but actually they are going against the conclusion of the Vedas. So therefore, you think that this is your own people. But then when you look, you say, oh, but they're different. They're actually not following the conclusion of the Vedas. So they're more dangerous to me. These are the Mayavadis. They're more dangerous than the Buddhists.
Sri Vyasadeva very kindly compiled the Vedic knowledge in his Vedanta Sutra. But if one hears the commentation of the Mayavada school as represented by the Shankara Sampradaya, certainly he will be misled on the path of spiritual realization. The theory of emanations is the beginning subject of the Vedanta Sutra. All cosmic manifestations are emanations from the absolute personality of Godhead by his inconceivable different energies. The example of the touchstone is applicable to the theory of emanation. The touchstone can convert an unlimited quantity of iron into gold, and still the touchstone remains as it is. Similarly, the Supreme Lord can produce all manifested worlds by his inconceivable energies, and yet he is full and unchanged. He is Purna complete, and although an unlimited number of Purnas emanate from him, he is still Purna.
Yes, okay. So now, so here comes this point about the Mayavad philosophy. So number one, Srila Vyasadeva very kindly compiled the Vedic knowledge in his Vedanta Sutra. But this Vedanta Sutra has been interpreted by the followers of Shankaracharya. And their interpretation, their understanding, their commentation. So here I say that he'll be misled on the path of spiritual realization. So we have to remember that Shankaracharya came at a point when Buddhism had taken over the whole of India. It had completely overtaken the Vedic knowledge. So Shankaracharya employed a method by which to bring back the Vedas. So he spoke in such a way that the Buddhists got bewildered. And he brought them back to the Vedic literatures. But when he did this, he killed something. What did he kill? He killed the personality of Godhead. What he did. So it's very risky to take birth in this material world. Is extremely risky because you may never get to know about Krishna. So now, the first topic, the very beginning subject of Vedanta Sutra is Janmani Asya Yataha, which is also going to be our first
Verse.
verse in
Verse.
Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking this, the invocation. Janmadi asya yaton vayad itaratas charteshu avidyaswara. So Janmadi asya. So here, the theory emanation, Janmadi asya, meaning from him. From him, such and such things have emanated. So all the cosmic manifestations, meaning where we are living, all the cosmic manifestations are emanations from the absolute personality of Godhead. How? See, these are all tricky things. Extremely tricky. So here, Srila Vyasadeva, which those in the parampara of Vaishnavas, they are accepting that these emanations, like this cosmic manifestation, they are coming by the inconceivable different energies. Like we spoke about the inferior Antaranga Shakti, meaning it exists, an energy that exists. It's not temporary, it actually exists. And then come the Kala Shakti, then Maya Shakti. So these are all different Shakti that are emanation of the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord possess these energies. So now how the Supreme Lord is manifesting the cosmic manifestations without being changed. This is the point here. Let's say, so the mother gives birth to a child. So we see two. But the Mayavadis are seeing one only. All right. We are seeing two. Mayavadis say, no, it's only one. And we insist, no, it's two. So how is it that the mother has given birth to the child, meaning this is someone separate from him? So they think that if it's separate, then there's something wrong there. So they get bewildered. So let's continue to read. The example of a touchstone is applicable to the theory of emanation. The touchstone can convert an unlimited quantity of iron into gold, and still the touchstone remains as it is. Similarly, the Supreme Lord can produce all manifested worlds by his inconceivable energies, and yet he is full and unchanged. He is Purna, and although an unlimited number of Purnas emanate from him, he is still Purna. So the one doesn't change and dissolve into the many. Example is given that you have a Parasmani touchstone. So this touchstone will touch iron and make it become gold. And it can touch an unlimited quantity of iron and turn it into gold. And the touchstone itself doesn't disappear. All right, it doesn't disappear. So similarly, the Supreme Lord can produce all manifested worlds by his inconceivable energies, and yet he's full and unchanged. He's Purna. I remember reading this actually. Anyway, Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam, right? We have discussed all this. So he's a complete whole, and so many unlimited numbers of Purna come out from him, but still he remains Purna. Now, the theory of illusion of the Mayavad school is advocated on the ground that the theory of emanation will cause a transformation of the absolute truth. If that is the case, Vyasadeva is wrong. To avoid this, they have skillfully brought in the theory of illusion. So now the Mayavadi is saying that if their point is this, the absolute truth cannot undergo any transformation. By very definition, absolute truth means doesn't change. All right? That which doesn't change. This is the absolute truth. False means it changes. Absolute truth means it's eternal, it cannot change. And now we are saying that from that absolute truth have come so many universes, have come the jivas, right? So the Mayavad philosophy, they are saying that no, everything is one, absolute truth. So from where the creation have come, from where the jivas have come, so they have a problem there. So what do? So they say that the world, so they skillfully brought in the theory of illusion. All right? Illusion. So they brought in a philosophy called illusion. So what does it say? They say that the material world, the cosmic creation, is false. It appears. The jiva gets covered by an illusion. This material world is false, and there is an illusion. So the jiva comes under illusion and thinks, he forgets that he's God. This is the philosophy. Everything is not said here. But I have to tell you, otherwise you won't understand. So the Mayavadis think that the jiva, he falls into illusion and he forgets his God, Brahman. But when he revives his consciousness, he realizes that he is God. Have you heard this philosophy? You heard, Ashwini, you heard this philosophy? Anybody has heard this philosophy?
Yeah, this they say that everybody is God.
Yes.
Mataji, I have also heard that Mayavada, they believe that they are the God, and Brahmavadi, they think that they are the effulgence of the God. I mean, they merge into this like that. I have heard this. I don't know. I mean,
Well, now, we merge, effulgence of God, this is now Brahma Jyoti. This is our philosophy, Brahma Jyoti. All right? But the Mayavadi, they say it's only one. All right, it's only one. This absolute truth. And they have not been able to define properly what is that absolute truth. Everything is only one and they're stuck on it. Now, how do you explain about our existence? How do you explain about this material creation? How do you explain about the happiness and distress? The happiness and distress of this world. How do you explain? That's the problem. All right. So they bring in the philosophy of illusion. Oh, the jiva falls in illusion and forget that he is that absolute truth. And what is this material world? It is just an illusion. He's in a dream. So the material world is an illusion. So then the Vaishnavas say, no, the world of the cosmic creation is not false as maintained by the Mayavad school. It simply has no permanent existence. A non-permanent thing cannot be called false altogether, but the conception that the material body is the self is certainly wrong. Like on my YouTube screen, pop in. I don't know how, by magic it pops in, Bollywood stars. I don't know who's doing this. I mean, but it's very good for us. I don't know whether you saw it, So they say when this person was 20 years old, they gave the name of the person. Then they put his picture when he's 75 years old. Did you see that? I don't know whether it popped on your screen. Then I don't know who, one of the, and of course I was most interested. Believe me, I was super most interested to see the picture when I was 20 and 75. It's horrific. It's absolutely horrific. All right. So who is the real self? So it's exactly what is being discussed here, that the body is not false, but the illusion that I am the body, this is definitely, it's a false body. It's a temporary body. Who's the real person? Name is still same. I don't want to take the names of the film star. This X now, X before 75 years before, 50 years before, and then now, right? Body has changed, all right? Body has changed. Therefore, to believe that I am that body is an illusion, right? To believe, like I'm just seeing Padmini Rukmini, a beautiful young girl. She looks like a young girl, right? Now, 50 years later, okay, maybe we can look at our grandma. I will look like her. All right. Now, if I believe I am this body, this is an illusion. All right. But that body that existed at 20 years old and now in 75 years old, that body has changed and undergone transformation. All right, it has undergone transformation, meaning that the body at 20 years old was temporary. All right, that body was, it is temporary body. So look at all your children, tell them you've got temporary bodies. When you're going to be 50, your body will be completely different. All right. So I read it again. The world of the cosmic creation is not false. Not that my body is false, right? Maybe children, they like to see that my father, look at the picture of my father when he was 20 years old, right? So that body is not false, but it is a temporary body. A non-permanent thing cannot be called false altogether. Are you able to follow this? The 20-year-old body, 75. My God, please don't look. It's horrible. It's really horrible. A non-permanent thing, meaning your body at 20 years old is non-permanent because it's a different body actually. It's Prabhupada explained. It's actually, you're living in a different body. So it's a temporary existence. It's not false. Okay, now come another section. So one point was about emanations. And Prabhupada says there is a footnote there. In our teachings of Lord Chaitanya, we have more elaborately explained all these philosophical intricacies. Srimad Bhagavatam clarifies them all. So this is an introduction. Please remember, this is an introduction. But still I have to tell you, otherwise you'll be lost. Now, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking another point. This is about the pranav, Omkar. Now, Pranava Om or the Omkar in the Vedas is the primeval hymn, meaning that it exists first. Primeval is the first existence. This transcendental sound is identical with the form of the Lord. This sound is an incarnation of the Lord. Nama Rupa. All the Vedic hymns are based on this pranava omkara. Like we say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Narayana Namaha. Right? All Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashanti. Right? Om Tat Sat. Om Om Om. Right? And then it's indicating who we are addressing. Omkar means that which is beyond this material creation, which, as I just described, shows youth, shows decay, gradual growth produces something, decay, and then becomes old. Omkara remains as he is. Omkara is the absolute truth and never changes. Right? So this transcendental sound is identical with the form of the Lord. All the Vedic hymns are based on this pranama omkar. As soon as you hear the word om, immediately you should know this is Vedic literature. This is Ved. All right? As soon as you hear om, immediately you know it is from Vedic Shastra. Is it clear? All right. Now what Mayavadis do. Tat Tvam Asi is but a side word in the Vedic literatures. And therefore this word cannot be the primeval hymn of the Vedas. Tat Tvam Asi. What is that Tat Tvam Asi? You are that. What is that? You are that Brahman. This is basically that they are saying. So, in the Vedic literature, there is another sentence, a sutra that says Tat Tvam Asi. It's indicating that we are Brahman. Brahman meaning that we are spirit. We are not this matter that looks so beautiful when you are 16, 20 years old, and it's so horrible when you're 75 years old. So Tattvam Asi is indicating that you are spirit soul, Brahman. Right? Tattvam Asi, you are that. But it is a side word in the Vedic literatures. It is not indicating that the Tattvam Asi is identical with the Omkar. Because the Tattvam Asi can refer to the Jiva as well as the original Brahman. Shripad Shankaracharya has given more stress on the side word Tattvam Asi than on the primeval principle Omkar. Okay. Anyway, remember we are reading the introduction to Shrimad Bhagavatam, so therefore, like very less information is given here.
Mataji, I have a question.
Yes.
Mataji, this you said about the pranav om na. So om means Krishna, or is indicating like a prefix. It is
Well, here Omkar Pranava. It is the impersonal form of Krishna.
Omkar is the impersonal.
Impersonal form of Krishna.
Okay, Mataji.
Right. So the Lord thus spoke on the Vedanta Sutra and defied all the propaganda of the Mayavad school. The Bhattacharya tried to defend himself and his Mayavad school by jugglery of logic and grammar. But the Lord defeated him by his forceful arguments. He affirmed that we are all related with the personal Godhead eternally, and that devotional service is our eternal function in exchanging the dealings of our relations. The result of such exchanges is to attain prema, or love of Godhead. When love of Godhead is attained, love for all other living beings automatically follows, because the Lord is the sum total of all living beings. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is paving the way for all of us so that we can worship Krishna. We can know who is Krishna. So he affirmed that we are all related with the personality of God. Sambandh. Right? Sambandh. And that devotional service is our eternal function in exchanging the dealings of our relation. Abhiday. All right? I think we have read all this section. The result of such exchanges to attain prema, or love of Godhead. Prayojan. I'm sure we have completed this section. When love of Godhead is attained, love for all other beings automatically follows, because the Lord is the sum total of all living beings. If I develop love for Krishna, automatically I'm going to feel affection for others. Automatically. Just like we see with Prabhupada. Because he had so much love for Krishna. So he said, I must fulfill the mission of Krishna, meaning preaching. The Lord said that for these three items, namely eternal relation with God, Sambandh, exchange of dealings with Him, Abhiday, and the attainment of love for Him, Prayojan, all that is instructed in the Vedas is superfluous and concocted. Meaning all that is instructed. Now there are many things that are instructed in the Vedas. How to live a pious life and how to live ever happy in this material world until suffering comes. Right? So the Vedas are giving us ways and means by which we can be happy in this world. So here, these three things, Sambandh, Gyan, Abhiday, and Prayojan, love of Godhead. This supersedes the teachings of the Veda about dharma, art, karma, and moksha. You know what I'm talking about? The Vedas are full of instructions to be pious, dharma, so that I can have arth, right? I have money, so I can enjoy. I enjoy in a dharmic way. It's going to come as we study. Then comes moksha. When I'm fed up with all this, then I say, okay, let's just get out from here. So the Vedas are teaching these four things, but Vaishnavas, they are going beyond all these four. They want to re-establish our relationship with Krishna. And therefore we engage in devotional service. And by that we develop love for Krishna. This is just an introduction, remember. We are going to go in depth. All right. The Lord further added that the Mayavad philosophy taught by Sripad Shankaracharya is an imaginary explanation of the Vedas. But it had to be taught by him, Shankaracharya, because he was ordered to teach it by the personality of Godhead. It's an imaginary explanation of the Vedas. So in the Padma Purana, it is stated that the personality of Godhead ordered his lordship Shiva to deviate the human race from him, the personality of Godhead. The personality of Godhead was to be so covered so that people would be encouraged to generate more and more population. His lordship Shiva said to Devi, in the Kali Yuga I shall preach the Mayavad philosophy, which is nothing but clouded Buddhism in the garb of a Brahman. Okay, Rukmini, Padmini, you want to read?
Yeah, okay, Mataji. After hearing all these speeches of the Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Bhattacharya was struck with wonder and awe and regarded him in dead silence. The Lord then encouraged him with assurance that there was no cause to wonder. I say that devotional service unto the personality of Godhead is the highest goal of human life. He then quoted a shloka from the Bhagavatam and assured him that even the liberated soul who are absorbed in the spirit and spiritual realization also take to the devotional service of the Lord Hari because the personality of Godhead has such transcendental qualities that he attracts the heart of the liberated soul too.
Liberated soul.
Oh, sorry, liberated soul too.
So now, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, he was struck with wonder and awe after he heard all this. Now, just imagine, he's a professor, right, in logic and different types of philosophy, right? He's a super professor, but he got defeated by this 24-year-old boy, Shri Chaitanya. He got defeated. Here, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was the professor of so many teachers, and he got defeated. So he's looking at him with wonder and awe. And then Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't worry. Actually, devotional service, prema pumarto mahan, the perfection, the best goal of all life is to develop love for Krishna. And then he says that even those who have achieved liberation, the liberated souls, when they hear about Krishna, even they are attracted. So he spoke one verse, which is here in this Bhagavatam, Atmaram verse. Yeah, continue.
Then the Bhattacharya desired to listen to the explanation of the Atmaram shloka from the Bhagavatam 1.7.10. The Lord first of all asked Bhattacharya to explain it, and after that he would explain it. The Bhattacharya then explained the shloka in a scholarly way with special reference to logic. He explained the shloka in 9 different ways, chiefly based on logic, because he was the most renowned scholar of logic of the time. The Lord, after hearing the Bhattacharya, thanked him for the scholarly presentation of the shloka. And then, at the request of the Bhattacharya, the Lord explained the shloka in 64 different ways, without touching the 9 explanations given by the Bhattacharya. Thus, after hearing the explanation of the Atmaram shloka from the Lord, the Bhattacharya was convinced that such a scholarly presentation is impossible for an earthly creature. Before this, Sri Gopinath Acharya had tried to convince him of the divinity of the Lord, but at the time he could not so accept him. But the Bhattacharya was astounded by the Lord's exposition of the Vedanta Sutra and explanation of the Atmaram Shloka. And thus he began to think that he had committed a great offense at the lotus feet of the Lord by not recognizing him to be a Krishna himself. He then surrendered unto him, repenting for his past dealings with him. And the Lord was kind enough to accept the Bhattacharya. Out of his causeless mercy, the Lord manifested before him first as a 4-handed Narayan and then again as 2-handed Lord Krishna with a flute in his hand. The
Yeah.
Bhattacharya.
Okay. Yeah. So now, again, Bhattacharya explained the Atmaram verse in 9 ways. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the Atmaram shloka in 64 ways. So Bhattacharya was saying, who is this person? Right? Who is this person that is, who can give such explanation. See how we are struggling, a bunch of ladies here, how we are struggling to understand one paragraph. We are looking back and forth. What is all this, right? Now, the Bhattacharya is scholar amongst topmost scholar. He's professor, teacher of so many teachers, right? And here he is completely baffled, absolutely baffled. Ashichet Mahaprabhu. So he said he can only be God. Only God is able to speak in this way because God is omniscience, right? You see, God is omniscience, omnipotent, omniscient. Anyway, it's, see, it's also good for us. I'm just making this relevant to us. Sometimes we think we know a lot. We know everything. Sometimes we know exactly what to do, right? And how to do. So if we become a little bit humble, we can sometimes ask Krishna, please tell me what to do and how to do. Right? We'll be so peaceful and relaxed. I don't know what to do, how to do. Yeah. Just try it. Just try it as an experiment. You're doing something. You're cooking something. Okay, I think all of us like to cook, hopefully. Right? And you really don't know, you're following all the recipes still isn't come proper. Right? Or you watch your mother do it, or somebody do it, it's not coming proper. If you just take one moment and say, Krishna, please show me what to do, how to do. Right? Krishna will tell us because he knows. He knows exactly how to do it. Anything. If any one of you is dealing with mathematics, or let's say counting, when you're lost, Krishna, please tell me. Let's practice this. All right? We don't want to just read philosophy here. Let's practice this. I don't know, Krishna, tell me how to do. We'll be so peaceful. Just say again, yesterday I saw another pop up on this Ahmedabad plane crash, since everybody, all engineer, this one, everybody was, how did it happen? How did it happen? Now, if you ask any of the Hare Krishna devotees, they say how it happened. It happened, destiny brought them all together, right? That's what we say. Immediately, destiny brought them like Kurukshetra, brought them all together. And then it happened, right? The laws of nature pushed them into the crash, right? But very interesting yesterday what I heard. So it's like finally they found the mystery. What happened? So they say that, we'll be very scared. We'll really be scared to step into an airplane, right? Already I knew about it, but I was paying attention to it. You know how very nicely we ignore what we don't want to know, right? Happily we ignore. But it happened here in this case. So the airplanes are actually pilots is name only. As those of you who are driving cars, you have automatic cars, computerized car, all right? Automatic car. So now this plane is actually computerized. This is what I understood. AI, okay? The pilots, so they speak of the pilot as ghosts. The pilots are actually ghost pilots. The real pilot are all that machine. So that machine, the configurations was telling that huge plane that you are flying. The message that's been given to that huge machine is that you are flying, when actually it is not flying. But the message, oh, Ashwini, she's in the airplane, right? This is your airline. Hmm? Oh my God, lucky you're no longer there. You'll get a bad name. Say Boeing. Hmm? So it says, sorry now, I'm embarrassed. I hope I'm not saying the wrong thing just yesterday. So it is like, so it's automated. So the message sent to that machine is that it is flying. All right. Whereas the human being is seeing, the human pilot is seeing the airplane is not flying, but he's helpless. He's like a ghost in the body. He's helpless. Actually, our body also is a machine. If you start to dissect, the body is also a machine. And it has this software that we call mind, intelligence, and false ego that is operating the body. And the poor soul is the passenger and the witness. But it's happening, everything is happening according to his desire. And the super soul is allowing, is actually causing the body, both body and subtle body to move, right? So come now this element. I don't know why I started speaking about the airplane anyway. No, I forgot. I'm lost. Yeah, Shvini, tell me what you wanted to say.
No, Mataji, yeah, I mean, these aeroplanes are very highly computerized. So this is how, as you're relating it to human body, all machines. So
Yeah.
aeroplane is also, they have certain functions which are governed by automation. So this autopilot feature, which is more of a AI. But this particular aircraft is very close to my heart because we were involved in purchasing this 787, and they were our star aeroplane 787-800, very good aircraft. Very comfortable. People really liked flying it because you don't feel, they had certain features where you don't feel tired when you get down. So, but how still we cannot depend. After all, it's machine. So finally it gave up. So it's very sad.
Gave up its body.
Yeah,
In
gave
the
up his
bodies of
body.
so many.
And so much disastrous. Not only killed the people inside, but sadly fell on an hospital. And very sad. Actually, one of the very rare accident. This type of accident had not happened in history. That it fell in the city, and killed so many people outside, not only the inside. Very tragic.
Yeah.
For us Air Indians, it was a big shock. Big shock. It was very difficult for us to come because in Air India's history, there wasn't any accident like that. There was bomb blast of one of our aircraft, which was going to Canada in 70s. And after that, there wasn't. So in the history of Air India, there wasn't any accident like that.
Yeah. So my point actually was this, that everybody's speculating, right? How it may have happened this way, that way, right? So finally, we are blaming the automation, right? So the machine thought it is flying, right? It created the illusion in that machine, right? It created an illusion in that machine that it is flying when actually it is not flying. right? That's what I'm speaking of philosophy here. How to bring philosophy in our practical life, right? So this person, whoever is speaking, he spoke of ghosts, like the ghost pilots. They're only meaning that they're possessing a body, but they cannot manipulate the body, right? So illusion of flying or operating a machine where Krishna knows exactly what he was doing, the laws of nature, right? So I was saying that devotees, they will just leave it, right? They will just leave it. But others, they are, because they don't believe in the potencies, manipulation of the potencies, the energies of the Supreme Lord. Anupama Mishra is just nearby, right? Here in Ahmedabad, right? Oh my God, who I have on my screen today? India and Ahmedabad. And we are the gossipers, right? Yeah. We only gossip. Nobody knows, but at least one thing we know, that the Supreme Lord knows exactly how everything was timed. Everything was happening exactly like this battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna gathered everybody in one battlefield and the whole thing was done. All right. So we'll continue. So everybody marked where we stopped. So this is the surrender. So next week we read about the surrender of the Bhattacharya. So we've got different books and different pages. Hare Krishna.
कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you
Hare
for the
Krishna.
class.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for the class, Mother.